Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon. Of course, if you have not been here before, welcome. If you have been here before, welcome back. So today we're going to be playing in the Morphe times Madison Beer collection. I hope I'm saying her name right. This is what the packaging looks like on the palette. I'm going to be using the palette, and I also have a couple of lip glosses and the spray to demo. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, yeah, we're going to play in it today. Just keep watching. All right, so like I said, I'm going to focus on the palette first. Hopefully I'm saying her name right. Is it Madison Beer? That's what it looks like. I personally don't know her. I know she's huge on TikTok and now obviously other social media platforms. I don't know her that well, like I don't follow her. I just was kind of drawn to this collection. I thought it was a nice neutral collection. Now, before losing my collection, would I have bought this? I don't think so. But since I am rebuilding, this is a good affordable palette, and I do like Morphe's quality for the most part. Sometimes it's like a hit or miss, but lately when I've been getting palettes, they've been decent. So I didn't mind picking this up, but this is like the outside packaging. I did pick up the Seal the Deal spray. This is kind of more the rose gold spray. They do have a golder one. And then I did pick up a couple of the lip glosses. I picked up Saturn, and I believe the other one I picked up was Venus. So this is the more kind of nude pink one. And then we have one that's more of like kind of a mauve tone nude pink. They're all kind of nude shades. The glosses Canadian are $13.50. The spray is $24 Canadian and the palette is $28 Canadian. Now I am in Canada. Obviously the pricing is different. For the US, it's a little bit less expensive, but I'm just giving you those prices because I am Canadian. So I purchased this collection on launch day off the Morphe website. I had no issues purchasing. I actually find Morphe is amazing for shipping too. I got this within a few days of ordering. That's why I chose to actually order on their site instead of Sephora, because I find them much quicker. So this is the actual palette itself. It's the same basically as the Unicarton. You open it up. I love that it has a mirror, and these are all of the shades in the palette. So there's a mix of shimmer. These two right here, as I mentioned in the try-on clip, are kind of more sparkly topper shades, and the rest are more actually like metallic shades. And then we have quite a few mattes in here, which is nice. And like I said, I love that this has a mirror. This is a smaller palette than the typical Morphe palette, so it's not that great big huge palette. It's really easy to store, and you're gonna get a total of 20 shadows in here, so that's a pretty good number of shadows, and it is a little bit less obviously than the bigger Morphe palettes, but I'm cool with that. It was only 28 bucks, which is a pretty good deal. I've been playing with this for a while, and it's a nice palette. I've had no issues, and I mentioned that in the clip of me trying the shadows. I have no issues really in blending so far, but I do need to play with it more. But I'm going to go ahead and insert swatches now. I'm going to show you the top row first. So these are all the shades in the top row. These are all the shades in the second row. These are all the shades in the third row. And these are all the shades in the fourth row. All right, so one thing I will mention, they had like a plastic insert that actually had kind of like the names of all the shadows. I don't care for those inserts. I wish they just print it on the palette. I know this was inexpensive, so I can forgive it because a lot of more expensive brands don't do that. But I prefer to have it on the palette. If not, I just end up throwing it out, and like that's what I'm going to do with this one as well. But just so you know, there is an insert that does have shadow names if you are curious about the shadow names. I didn't insert those there. I just put the swatches, but more so just so you could see what the shadows look like swatched. All right, so without saying any more, let's go ahead and go into me actually using the palette. All right, guys, so I have you zoomed in, so I'm going to hop right into doing my makeup. I did go ahead and put on the Urban Decay Primer Potion, so I have that on both my eyes. I'm gonna go ahead and go into the shade right here. It's kind of like a taupey, kind of got like an olive undertone. There is like an insert that comes in this. I'm not gonna say the shade names because it's one of those like plastic inserts, and I freaking hate them because I just throw them out. I do have it, but I'm just gonna show you the shade. So I'm gonna go in with that shade. I will say when you tap into these, there is a bit of fallout. Can you see it in the pan? It does give you like a bit of fallout, but it's nothing like too crazy or anything that I can't handle. So I'm going to go in first on this side. And I'm using a Juno & Co. ES7. This is part of their 10-piece brush set. I purchased this on their Labor Day sale. I got it for like $45, I think. It's usually like close to $100. That is American pricing, so just keep that in mind, but it was a pretty good deal for 10 brushes, and the brushes aren't bad. I don't think they're the best brushes I've ever had, but for the price point, it's not too bad. Yeah, this definitely has like an olive kind of like green undertone to it. It's pretty though. It's a nice transition shade. But definitely, it's a great one for using like a green. I think I am going to use this kind of color down here, which has a little bit of green to it. It's kind of like a duochrome shade. I'm just going to build that up in the crease, kind of fluff it out. And this is just the crease shade, so I'm not going to go too wild with it. I'm going to put it over here and do the same thing. I'm trying to leave the fallout too, and I'll show you again kind of what the fallout's like. I like to go in with quite a bit of pigment on my brush. Some people don't, but I prefer to like get an eye look done quickly, and I don't usually have a problem with that as long as the formula blends out nicely. And this formula is actually quite nice. I haven't had any issues with the mattes in this formula, and I've used it a couple times. I'll obviously have to keep playing with it because I haven't used all the shades, but from what I've used so far, I like this palette. I haven't had any issues with blending anything out. I think it looks pretty. But it definitely can get a bit messy in the pan. It definitely has a bit of fallout. All right, so I think that looks pretty even, but yeah, that's like, do you see how it's up in the black shade too? So it does give you a bit of fallout. I just like blow it off, but some people I know hate fallout, so I thought I would mention that. I am filming in my bathroom, so I shower behind me. It's just easy for me to film in here. I can just put a little tripod up and there's lights up here. So it makes it a little bit easier for me. But yeah, what do you guys think of that? So I'm gonna give that a quick, clean off that brush. And then I think I kind of want to go into, this is more of like a deeper kind of olivey shade. I kind of want to go into that one. It has like an olive brown tone. We'll make this a little bit deeper. This one, I will say, I think it could be a little bit deeper. Like it looks deeper in the pan than it does in the eye. Still a pretty shade nonetheless, but not as like deep as I thought. I might use a little bit of the black down here or the darker brown just to kind of darken up that outer V. It is working though, the more I build this one up. I don't think it's bad either to have shadows sometimes that need to be built up, because for beginners, it's a lot more beginner friendly if you have to build up a shadow. If you come in with like a lot of pigment, it can be really difficult sometimes to blend out. So I don't think it's bad sometimes when a shadow isn't like insanely pigmented. Obviously you want pigment, but like sometimes it's nice to just be able to build a shade up. As long as it builds up nicely and blends out, I don't have an issue with that. But like I said, I do go in heavy-handed, so I don't even really tap my brush off half the time. I just kind of go into the shade, put it on my lid. I'm just gonna build that up on the outer part. I do pretty basic eye looks, I know, but I am not a makeup artist, and like I do like looks for like everyday people. Like if you're a mom like me, or if you're going to the office, or even if you're going out, I do looks for everything, but like I do like more basic looks. I don't do like crazy like artistry looks that you see on Instagram that I think are amazing, but I'm just not that girl. I like to do simple everyday makeup. I just like playing in makeup. And I'm not saying I'll never do any of those looks, but it's just not like a typical day what I do. So if you're here for that, you probably won't like my channel. Okay, so what do you guys think of that? That's pretty. It's pretty. It worked out nicely. So I'm gonna blow that off, and I think I'm gonna go in. I think I'm actually gonna go in with this shade down here, and then I'm gonna try to deepen out those outer edges a little bit. I'm just gonna wipe off that brush. I think I'm actually gonna go with my finger. So I'm gonna just take my finger and go into this shade. It's a pretty shade. It definitely has a little bit of duochrome to it. We're gonna put this in the inner part of my eye. I will say some of these shimmers, like in my opinion, needed to be built up. Like they're not like the most wham bam in your face at times, but they are pretty. And they can easily, like I said, be built up. So it's not like anything crazy, but they look pretty. And I like that shade a lot. I'm just going to kind of bring that over. I might actually go in with a little bit of this shade right here and just like put that in the inner part of my eye. I'm going to take that on this finger just because I want to add a little something else to this look. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on the other eye. I'm going to go in. I just want to pat that in the inner part and right here. Again, I'm going to build this up. You could wet like your finger or your brush too if you want to make this like really amped up. I kind of just want to layer it. I'm going to go in with that second shade and put that right there. And then to lighten that inner part up even further, I kind of went in with this shade right here. It's kind of more of a sparkly shade. This shade here and this shade are more like sparkly kind of topper shades. They're not like the more metallic formula like some of these other ones are. And I do want to go back in with that because I really want that green shade emphasized. Okay, so that's a shimmer. So now I'm going to go ahead and add, I kind of want to deepen this up for more depth. So I'm going to go back in with that same brush, the Juno ES7. And I think I might actually take some of the black. I'm just going to take a little bit because it does come off pretty good. We're just going to like dabble that on each side. I kind of like to like tap black on, and then I kind of like to go in and blend it out. So I literally just want to deepen that outer part of my eye. I think it'll kind of go in nicely with that green, making it look a little bit more like a deep green. I'm going to bring it slowly over, just a little. I'm going to work on kind of blending that on that outer part. And I didn't do my makeup first, so if anything needs to be corrected, I always just go in with a concealer after. So I really want everything to kind of like marry together. All right, so I think I'm gonna leave it there. That's what it's looking like. I think it's pretty. What do you guys think? Really pretty, not too crazy. I don't think the sparkly shades are too crazy, but I still think they give impact and they're pretty on the lid, so I'm okay with that. But it really depends on what you're looking for. But I do like this palette for like an everyday kind of look. This one's a little bit more green, but I do like it. And I do like that they have the black so you can like deepen up any look almost, but I like it. All right, so I'm gonna finish up doing my liner, and then you'll see me come back and we'll do the setting spray and the lip. All right, so that was me using the palette. Overall, I like this palette. I think it's a great neutral palette if you're looking to build up your collection and buy something inexpensive. I like this. The mattes perform fairly well. I did mention that the shimmers, I feel like they're a little hard pressed and you really kind of have to dig in, but you can build them up and they are pretty. Like they work on the eyes. I have no issue with that. And I don't think this is like the best quality palette out there, but I think it's a great palette and it kind of is in line with other Morphe palettes if you've tried the more recent palettes. So I do like this. I would recommend it if you are looking for an inexpensive, more kind of neutral palette to add to your collection. But we're going to talk about the glosses now. So if you've tried the Morphe gloss formula, I feel like this might be a little bit different. I can't remember and I can't compare because I don't have those glosses anymore, but it's the same kind of shape. It has the Morphe symbol on the top. The normal ones I think are in black. These ones have more of like a white top to them, obviously. It has kind of your standard just flat doe foot applicator, which I like. I am currently wearing one of the shades right now. I'm wearing the shade Saturn, which is kind of a light nudie pink shade. They do have more of a latte nude as well, and then they have like a deeper shade and one other shade. The other shade that I picked up was Venus, so it's this shade right here. I'll go ahead and swatch that shade for you. You'll see too, it's kind of a thicker formula. So this is more kind of like a lacquer formula in my opinion. It's not sticky on the lips, but it definitely is sticky enough that it's gonna like catch your hair. So if you don't like thicker, kind of more opaque glosses, you're not gonna like this. Just keep that in mind. But it does make your lips look really juicy, and I personally like lacquers, so I like these. I know I like the previous Morphe formula. I don't know if these are the exact same. Like I said, I can't compare right now. I feel like they are very similar, but I do like these. I like the packaging. I like a good gloss, so I'm happy with these, but I don't think these are for everyone. If you don't like thicker, kind of more lacquer-like glosses, you're not gonna like these. But they're not like sticky, like your lips don't stick together. It's just if your hair got in them, it's really gonna stick to it. So just keep that in mind. But I do like these. They were only $13.50 Canadian each, which is not bad at all. And like I said, you can purchase these on Sephora, or you can purchase them also on the Morphe website, which I recommend the Morphe website just because it's a little bit quicker. And yeah, I like these. All right, so the last thing we're going to talk about is the Seal the Deal Luminous Setting Spray. So I wasn't going to get this, but then I was kind of like, I like other Morphe sprays. I like the Continuous Setting Mist, and I also like the Luminous Spray. So I figured the sprayer on this would be decent. You do have to shake this up. The pigment will gather at the bottom, and it's clear until you shake it up. So just remember to shake it up. And this is kind of what it looks like. You guys have seen these before. MAC has something like this. I believe Iconic London has a product like this. There's several on the market. Some of them I don't like because the sprayers suck and then you get glops all over your face. This one's actually nice. I've used it quite a few times. I like it. You don't really notice any shimmer on your face or anything. It just kind of gives you like a nice luminous finish, which is what it says. So I'm going to go ahead and while demoing it, because I haven't sprayed anything yet. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so that's how it looks upon just spraying it. It has a nice kind of scent to it, nothing too overpowering, but it does have a nice scent. By the way, that's my finished eye look. I never even showed you guys, but that's like the finished eye look with the palette. Really pretty. I just added a wing and some mascara. I didn't put anything on the lower lash line. I actually prefer not to put anything on the lower lash line, just FYI. But yeah, that's what that spray is like. Kind of your typical luminous spray if you tried these before. It's $24. It is a little bit more, I think, than typical Morphe sprays, but I do think that is to do with the fact that it's Madison beer, so a little bit higher of a price point maybe, but I do like this. It has a decent sprayer on it and I don't get those glops all over my face. And you can see it does give a nice kind of glow to the skin. I don't know if the gold or this would make much difference. Like I said, I don't see any like droplets or like big sparkle particles on this. Now you can make something like this at home if you have a spray you like. You just have to put like literally an illuminating pigment in it, but this one works pretty good. And I am glad I picked it up because I actually did need a setting spray. So that's why I picked this one up, and I like illuminating sprays. So I recommend this. It's actually a decent setting mist. All right, guys. So overall, so that's everything from the collection that I picked up. There were highlighters that were kind of like a pinky toned and like more of a coppery, deeper tone. Both too dark for me, so I didn't pick those up, but I like what I picked up from the collection. If you were thinking about picking it up, it is still available on the website. I don't think anything is like sold out. It could be. I didn't double check that before I came on camera, but if it is, I'm sure they'll do a restock. But I like these products. I think they're pretty good. I can't speak on the highlighter, but I do enjoy these. I like the eye looks that I've come up with. Let me know what you guys think if you've tried anything from the collection or if you plan on picking anything up. But I do have to get going because my baby is awake. He's out playing on his play mat. But anyway, guys, I love you. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and bell notification so you don't miss out on my videos. I'm not the most frequent uploader. I tell you in every video. But yeah, if you don't want to miss out, make sure you hit that. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.